Oh, I was just gonna say shrimp buffets.
All right.
Yeah.
Does Pat Boone have a snack?
Holy water.
Saltines and holy water.
Holy water. All right, what's up, saltines and holy water? Welcome to Pod Minutes to Cast Night, the 2 minutes to late night podcast. We assume that holy water and saltines is on Pat Boone's rider, right?
Yeah. And only white M&Ms.
The body of Christ.
The body of Christ, white M&Ms. Is Pat Boone Christian? I didn't look.
Yeah,
anything
he's like a
up.
wildly
hardcore.
Mega conservative Christian.
Yeah.
Fun.
He funded that movie God's Not Dead.
No.
Yeah, you remember that one?
Way.
Yeah, he was a funder on that, and the second one, which I think he appears in.
Isn't that Kevin Sorbo from Hercules?
Wouldn't surprise me.
Yes.
Jeremy
yes.
knows.
Okay, yes.
Jeremy knows.
I wouldn't have known him by name, but I know him as Hercules, and he's like sad old Hercules now.
I know.
Yeah, he plays a professor in the first one, and his whole thing is that like you can't pass his class unless you say God is dead.
Really?
Yeah. He plays like a liberal professor.
And at the end, he finds out that there is a God, and he's disappointed.
No, it's even better. He just gets hit by a car and dies.
So is
Sweet.
Pat Boone's involvement in that movie like atonement for making a metal album and pissing off all of his fans?
Wait, hold up.
Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself.
Before we get into this, folks, we all just got back from Psycho Vegas. Some of us listened to this album on a plane, and by some of us I mean only me.
I listened to it on the drive. I drove to Vegas.
You listened to it in your convertible BMW that you've been hiding from us.
Wait,
I'm definitely not hiding it. What do you? Because I live in another state, you think I'm hiding it?
You never told us.
I told everyone except for you. Because you have
got
no
the text.
chill.
Saltines and holy water.
If I got a transportation system, I would not do it. Because you'd either be too excited or too disappointed. Folks, you're here with 3 of the members of the 2 Minutes to Late Night Writers Room.
Hi, I'm Jeremy Hammond, and I just found out what passion fruit looks like. And it looks like puke inside of a plum.
Yeah, it's literally that. It's a dark purple peach with boogers in it.
It's disgusting. It's disgusting, and it tastes so good, though.
It tastes great in this seltzer that we're
Yeah,
drinking.
when you can't see it.
Yeah. Drewby.
Hey, what's up? This is Drew Kaufman, and I would probably sell my soul to go to the Rainforest Cafe one more time.
Are they still around?
Yeah, but I don't know where. I could look it up, I guess, but...
Dude, we should go to the Rainforest Cafe the next time you're in town.
Yeah,
I would love to go.
It's in Atlantic.
Is there one in New York?
There's one in Atlantic City and one in Las Vegas. And we didn't
Oh, boy.
go. Yeah. So let's talk about Vegas. That's, because our guest this week is I don't know if we can say, you know what? We're going famed internet artist, Insane Clam Pasta. We were just in Vegas together. How you doing, man?
I'm not convinced I left Vegas.
Yeah, you have an In-N-Out burger sign behind you, just constantly
isn't it fancy?
haunting you. Yeah, so fancy.
Yeah, no, I'm doing okay. I mean, I involuntarily ended up taking like 5 days off of drinking when I got back. My body was rejecting alcohol.
I didn't even drink the entire time that we were out there, and I was hungover at the end of it. Just because you're in a room full of just cigarettes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
it's because Vegas is what happens if like an ashtray fucked an air conditioner.
Dude, yeah.
What was the term someone said that I never heard before? Casino lung? Where you just like, you leave Vegas and you get a cold because every room is cold and full of just like old rat women just like smoking cigarettes in your face.
I know.
Oh my God.
When literally every morning I woke up and just poured a bowl of Zycam and just ate it like it was Lucky Charms.
Yeah.
Just had this Zycam juice just to try to. I've made it this far. Fighting off a cold. It might hit me tomorrow though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely all the old people, though, right? It's like when you go to a hospital and you leave with a staph infection.
Dude, I got so
What?
the morning.
Yeah, people get staph infections at the hospital all the time because you're around a bunch of old people and you're sick.
Yeah,
I'm
What-
just learning right now at this very moment that a staph infection is not when you get sick from your job. Like I thought, like I thought that was like some like inside baseball term for like when you get sick at work from your other coworkers.
No, it's one of those ones. I think it's like probably named after somebody, like the
Oh,
guy,
yeah.
like the guy who invented
Right.
it or whatever.
the guy who
Yeah.
invented the sickness.
Lou Gehrig.
Come on, invent the sickness. But no, I was so worn out and felt so awful on the third day because we did not rest. We landed and immediately I was like painting my face in the car to go interview Arthur Brown. We were shooting that entire weekend.
Yeah, we didn't get a break. Like I feel like we should like kind of fill everybody in. So like what you may or may not know is that we had a show at midnight on Sunday. But we both were excited and contractually obligated to film something every day.
Yep.
And so we're running around Vegas. I literally saw 3 bands. I only saw Misfits, Electric Wizard, and Integrity. That's all I saw.
You could do worse.
Yeah, that's all I saw too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we were running around filming. It was awesome because it was kind of like, this is our first time like kind of doing this kind of thing officially. I mean, Fest, you know, it's kind of like loose, but this was like we were in a fucking casino and they put us up in this media room, which was basically a penthouse suite in the fucking Mandalay Bay. And
Yeah,
so
it was pretty awesome.
Yeah, it was great. We snuck Corey and he saw the sausages made. We interviewed I think a dozen bands, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So we were just filming back to back to back. Jordan was in face paint all 3 days, and that's why like every night we shot a video of us going to Walgreens because by the time we were done, it was 2 a.m. Everything was closed, and so we just had to go to Walgreens and get Pedialyte because we had life hangovers.
We bought Pedialyte every single night. I was like, we have to take care of ourselves, guys. This is gonna go, or else we're gonna get, we're gonna get casino body.
Oh, dude, I invited Drew to Matt Pike's wedding initially. It was going to be my first time meeting you.
Yeah, that would have been fun.
Yeah, I ended up going alone. It was pretty gnarly. And then you guys had all the leftover beer in your suite. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, some dude came up to us and was just like, we were walking. It was like me, Katie, and Nadia, who plays Weird Elvira. We were just like walking down the hallway, and I thought they were like these big fucking like, you know, like juggalo men. I thought that they were asking us for beer. They were like, "Hey, beer," and we were like, "No, we don't have any beer." And they're like, "No, do you want beer?" And apparently they just had a bathtub full of beer and they gave it all to us. And then it was so much beer, and I don't drink, but it was like this challenge of like, how much beer can I get for free? You know, that way when you guys show up, I'm like, look what I found. And they gave us like, I want to say like 40 or 50 beers, and then came back an hour later and were like, we want a few of these for the day.
Yeah, I hope it was good beer. It looked like it was probably pretty decent.
Yeah, it was decent.
It was just
mean-
seafoam green can, I guess,
Anything free in Vegas is fucking great.
Yeah.
for sure. I took a free nap. I'm waiting for my red eye underneath a fountain.
Oh man, you got away with murder, man. They charged me for my nap.
Sorry, what happened? What ended up happening with the show? How did it go?
You know what? I had a really good time. There was like, it was really hard to keep it together. Like, for those who don't know, Nick had to fly home early on Sunday as well. So Mel had to learn all of the songs on bass that day that we were doing, like kind of take up a lot of Nick's cues. We had to really rewrite the episode, and we did our fucking damnedest. I think it's still really funny.
Yeah.
It's just it's going to be a beautiful train wreck.
Yeah. Oh, so but it did end up working out to film it.
Oh yeah,
Because I got like a frantic text from Katie like midday. I was at the beach and I got a text from her where she was like, "Yeah, I'm not sure what the fuck's going on, but maybe we can't film in the casino, and also maybe Jordan can't paint his face."
Yeah,
I don't want to say too much because it's a lot of like just weird stuff. But I think the funniest thing is that literally Jordan wasn't allowed to walk around the casino with his face paint because they use, I mean, they don't say it, but they use facial recognition cameras and it doesn't work. So Jordan literally like would get stopped by security and stuff. He actually had to have a security escort at like 11:30 p.m. to get escorted to the stage to set up for the show. It was crazy.
Wow. Yeah, and I couldn't leave once we were
You're
done.
just a prisoner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just, we got off stage, and then, like, I was like, I'd love to go change or whatever, but I kind of couldn't until, like, someone was there to walk with me. So I got one drink after the set. I didn't even really get to drink it because I just got punished into the Earth's crust.
Yes.
And then, like, which was great. I loved meeting everybody, but it was fucking 2:30 in the morning.
That's the irony of the facial recognition software. Like, everyone recognized you anyway. It's like,
Well, that was the thing, is that it's literally every casino. I wasn't allowed in any casino. I remember I went like after day one's filming, I went to there's a Denny's attached to the hotel that we were staying at, because we can't afford the Mandalay Bay, so we stayed at a Days Inn. And we just I walked to the casino to go to the Denny's to just get a grilled cheese. And then they were like, listen, sir, you can't be on the casino floor. There is money here. And I was, in my head, I'm like, do you think that if I was going to rob somebody, I would dress like this? Why would I do? Paint little ducky shorts in this face paint?
the perfect crime.
The perfect crime. They'll never know.
The gold sequin coat.
Yeah, dude. I was like, I wanted to I didn't want to be shitty because we were staying there another 3 days, but at the same time I was like, listen, this casino is also the front desk and a Denny's. So what the fuck? It was a lot.
That's the hottest Denny's in Las Vegas.
Yeah. Las Vegas whipped my ass. I don't think I can do. There are people that live there.
That's crazy, right?
What the fuck?
Yeah, they don't have clocks.
Dude, I couldn't even feel alive by the end of the weekend.
Yeah, people work in those casinos and breathe that air all the time.
I know, it's
So
crazy.
So many people had red eyes on that Monday.
Uh-huh.
All of them. Everyone we knew, Mel from Royal Thunder, fucking napping somewhere in the casino. Just going somewhere to lie down because you couldn't make it another day. I was, everyone, went to the aquarium for a little bit, which was nice.
Oh.
Yeah. But
I missed my
mostly
flight and got
under-
stuck an extra day.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
Yeah, it was rough. I ended up, I made the most of it. I rode the gondola at the Venetian, and I was totally delirious the entire time.
Yeah,
Someone
man.
offered me a tab of acid, and I was like, yeah, no, I have to make another flight. Let's not do that.
Don't you understand? My life is acid now.
Yeah, I was like, nothing is real.
Wait, you want to take acid here? We're already here.
Yeah, you're in. It doesn't get more acid.
Is it going to make things normal?
Yeah, if anything,
Yeah.
it's gonna turn the lights off.
That'd be great. I would love that.
Yeah, I don't understand Vegas. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I don't know. There were so many times where we were walking and somebody came up to us and they were so drunk that they were just speaking in tongues. Like, they just point at you and be like, "Hey!" And you're just like, there's no security net for that to happen. Like, there's no
I feel like that was me.
maybe that was you. It was like you with a shaved head.
You're right.
But it's it's so I don't get Vegas. Unless you stay in your hotel room,
Yeah, it was really funny. We were there were so many times where we would be filming with a band, and there would just be a drunk guy from either a band or something who just had all the passes to be in the media room. So many people would just run up and be like, "Oh, it's that guy!" Just pointing at me, and I was like, "Hey, dude, yeah, we're filming an interview right now." He's like, "I know, I'm fucking up your shot." Isn't that awesome? I was like, I guess it is now. I guess now it's awesome. before we get into this week's album, fellas, did you listen to anything delightful this week? I'm sure none of us listened to metal this week at all. It didn't happen.
No, I didn't listen to metal this week. I've been listening to a lot of like proto-punk bands, like a lot of like those like sort of like late 60s, early 70s bands that influenced punk later on.
Yeah.
Largely because I had to win an argument on the internet.
Yeah.
So I just have like a big playlist of proto-punk. If anybody wants to listen to it, hit me up. I'll send you the link.
I'm down.
And I'm pretty sure I don't. That doesn't sound different from normal for you to me, because I assume that everything you listen to is because you're arguing on the internet.
Yes. No, everything I do ever is because I'm arguing on the internet with somebody.
Jeremy, have you gone to therapy yet?
No, I fired my therapist several years ago.
It
You can't fire a therapist.
Of course you can.
That's not how it works.
They
You're going
work
to
for
them.
you.
What? That's not. No, you. They don't work for you. You go to their office.
Yeah. You pay them.
Jeremy,
You pay them. They
you're
work
their
for you.
client.
You fire them.
you're their client, Jeremy. Okay. I don't think you went to a therapist. I think you hired someone from TaskRabbit and ended up talking at them.
Yeah, did you go to a therapist or did you go to an arm wrestling match?
No, I had a therapist who I had through a there was like a flat rate like low income therapy company called like the Institute for Contemporary Psychotherapy, which for those of you paying attention at home is ICP. And so every time you go to their office, like there's a huge sign on the wall that just says ICP.
Whoop whoop.
Jeremy's there and already missing the point of why you go to therapy.
Yeah, already there as a bit. Just like keep going there because it's funny that I go to a place called ICP.
Yep. Jeremy,
They
what'd you
serve
learn in
Faygo.
therapy? I don't know, but I fired them. All right.
We need to talk about your mother, Jeremy. Does she make you feel twisted?
Let's talk about your family.
Whoop whoop.
What did you listen to?
Chicken head.
What did you listen to, Corey?
You wanted to call me insane clam pasta.
I did, but we already did an ICP bit. So guess what?
Nice,
You're
true.
Corey now.
Yeah, repetition. All right. Well, I listened. I've been getting into Brainiac. You know about them?
I know about the Superman villain, but not the band.
Yeah, they were like a '90s like kind of noise punk like alt rock band that never quite got their big break because like they're from Ohio and like the singer died in like a very weird Ohio way. Like he drove this old car that was all rusted through, and he didn't realize that he was getting like carbon monoxide poisoning.
Holy shit!
And yeah, and he like left a session one day and like crashed his car into a fucking telephone pole and died. But they got a couple really good albums out.
I thought you were gonna say like he died in an Ohio way. I was like, he lost a fight to a baked potato.
Yeah. I was just thinking like, no, he was killed by a really old car in a very strange way.
Drew, what'd you listen to?
He was strangled by a pair of brown pants.
He died in Buckeyes.
I found friend of the show, Trevor Clifford, who helped film the Vegas show. He showed me this really cool band called Flower Traveling Band, and they're a Japanese band from like the late 70s, and they kind of like invented doom metal. It's really crazy. Like it's not like super metally. It's more of like that. It's like a cross between like Black Sabbath and Country Joe and the Fish, with like a Japanese guy singing English. Very, very strange, very fun stuff to listen to on the road home from Vegas.
Cool.
Yeah, I've heard them. They're great.
Yeah.
And
What about you, Jorb?
well, I'm losing more of my hair, so I got into Rush this week. When I landed in New York, I immediately took a nap, and then me and my girlfriend went on a trip to Asbury Park. I was like, I just want the opposite of Vegas, which is Asbury Park. It's just instead of Elvis Town, it's just Bruce Springsteen Town. It's just beach
And nothing's open.
Nothing's fucking open.
Nothing's open. There's no lights anywhere. It's like the darkest place in New Jersey.
I fucking loved it.
It's so great. I love Asbury Park.
They let my there was a hotel that was totally fine with my dog. There was a dog beach. Had a great time. On the way up, I was just like, I just don't want to listen to anything that I know because of the whole weekend that we had. So, we both decided to give 2112 a try.
Nice.
That's a good starter.
It was pretty fun. Shorter than I expected, but also, a pretty much just one 5-part song. Except I was like, we got to the train to Bangkok. I was like, this is a song they've never played live ever.
Yeah, they're buying. It's a song about taking the 6 train to go get opium, basically.
Yeah. Well, then we were just. It started a big conversation of like, where the fuck does that really racist, stereotypical like riff of music for Asian people come from?
Yeah.
Oh,
We
yeah.
went through that because it's not from any actual piece of music from there. It's just literally, it just started. We found it. We did some research and it just went really deep, and it just was a little jingle that was used racistly to explain the Far East.
Like somebody just like invented a slur entirely.
Yeah,
That's
it wasn't
wild.
part of their of any
No, I would have
Eastern
figured
culture
it was
at all.
But like, was it in like a Miss Saigon or something like that? Like some sort of a show that people saw?
I think so. I think it like
Looney Tunes or
originated.
something?
Here's the thing.
Or was it just like somebody on the street once just made that up when they saw an Asian person?
This was also I think that's pretty much what happened, but in a
You just
show.
felt it deep inside.
They obviously were trying to like mimic whatever the instrument is.
One-string guitar thing.
They were trying to mimic something like that, and it's just is a racist thing. I don't remember all the details because again, this was the morning after the red eye I took from the giant weekend in Vegas.
Right.
So I was delirious as hell, but I was just shocked to find out that it was just, this is just a thing that exists from racism.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a part of like yellow face cinema. Like I think it like predates Charlie Chan too.
Yeah.
Semi-related. Have you ever seen the movie Murder by Death?
No,
No.
I've
heard the band Murder by
Yeah,
Death.
well they're named after the movie.
Yeah, I figured.
The movie is really funny. It's a really funny movie, and it's basically like it's like a movie about 9 stereotypical detectives. Like it even has Peter Falk basically playing Columbo, but like with a different name.
Uh-huh.
And they're all staying in this haunted house trying to solve this murder. And Alec Guinness is in it, and he's really funny in it. Like,
What?
I remember Alec Guinness would be
What
funny.
kind of stereotypical detective is he?
He's not. He's the butler. It pays off.
Sick.
But Peter Sellers is in it as a Charlie Chan, and it's very racist. It's super racist. And he has like a Japanese nephew, and he's like playing a Chinese man, and a lot of the jokes just come from him. Like it's Truman Capote's in it. It's like his only acting role. He's
What?
the bad guy. And Truman Capote is just like yelling at Peter Sellers for pronouncing things wrong, and it's just like those jokes don't work because he's pronouncing them wrong on purpose because he's racist.
Yeah.
He's being paid to be racist.
This is crazy.
But
It's like
this
it's
is
like
now-
ancient Airheads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the way that
basically.
you sound like saying the Airheads cast is how you sound, but in like old timey radio.
Yeah.
Mickey
It is a
Rooney's
funny
in it.
movie.
What?
It is worth seeing.
It's insane. Jimmy Stewart plays a dog. But no, I always thought it was weird that Murder by Death was called Murder by Death. It is now weirder that they're called Murder by
Yeah,
Death.
for sure.
Because they're
Uh-huh.
named after a weird movie. a weird comedy movie. It's now
like
weirder.
But there's all sorts of stuff like that. Russia's named after those poppers that my friend likes to take.
Amyl nitrates.
We're on the train to butt sex. On
All right, fellas, let's get into the album. This week, since we were planning on recording this in Vegas, so we decided this week that we were going to listen to Richard Cheese, but he fucking means it. Pat Boone in a metal mood. Pat Boone in a metal mood. : No more Mr. Nice Guy. And I want to know which title of the album he was fighting for.
He was definitely fighting for Mr. because they wanted it to be No More Mrs. Nice Guy.
He's like, I don't know if you've heard this about me. I'm Pat Boone, and I hate that.
Yeah. I'm Pat Boone. It's no more Dr. Nice Guy.
No more Mr. Nice Christ.
No more Mr. Christ guy.
Yeah, right. Totally.
Wait, is Pat Boone Christian?
Yeah, he's super Christian. We talked
He's the
about it
most.
earlier in the
Not only is Pat Boone like mega conservative Christian, but he also like is friends with Mike Huckabee and spread like rumors that Barack Obama was a Muslim.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
he was
Oh,
a huge birther, and somebody on the Discord told me this that he did robocalls for Mitt Romney during Mitt Romney's presidential election that included him saying, "Hi, this is Pat Boone. No, I'm not dead."
Pat Boone is what the like far right invented because Elvis was too black for them.
That's actually true.
It's true.
That's the other thing I learned today on
I
the
believe
Discord was that his whole career began by doing a really shitty version of Tutti Frutti.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, there was like they used to have segregated radio, and that was the thing is they would have white people cover songs by black artists, and then he'd just be like, "Let me take this down a little bit. I think there's a little too much salt in this song, if you know what I'm saying."
Yeah,
let's change.
Let me do a version that won't give 80-year-old women stomach aches.
Let's lower the hemline, fellas.
Oh my God! So I didn't look anything up about Pat Boone. I just put this album on, and then my plane took off. I thought it was gonna, really put me in the mood for Vegas, and it did. And then I went to Vegas, and it changed me. But
I want to point out it put me in the mood for Vegas, but it definitely didn't put me in a metal mood. I could not wait to leave Vegas.
Unless the metal is brass.
In a zinc mood, brought to you by GNC Vitamins.
Pat Boone, brought to you by Pennies.
It's very fun to picture like what his show looked like at this time, because like I saw him on Jay Leno in like the leather suit that he's wearing on the cover of the album.
Yeah.
And it's like a sleeveless like leather jumpsuit with like buttons down the front. But it's very fun to picture him because he's like a big band guy, and he's got like a bandstand sort of thing, like Ricky Ricardo,
Yeah.
It's very fun to picture him with like bats like all over his bandstand.
Wait,
and,
did it really have bats?
I didn't see him play it live, but
Oh.
I hope that that's what he was doing, and like
That's
the whole
how-
band is in leather.
That's
Fun
how he got
thing-
his alter ego, Bat Poon.
I wish.
Draw that.
Real laugh.
Draw that.
Draw Bat Poon.
Challenge accepted.
Another thing you should draw is when I first saw this album cover, because he's just wearing a vest, I was like, is he wearing pants?
The twinkle in his eye says no.
The twinkle in his eye says he is Donald Ducking on the front cover. It's just a vest.
Like Donald Duck in The Warriors.
He looks like there was like I was reading a thing about how like because he was super conservative Christian, and like he was a part of the like the conservative Christian television raising money for I don't know little Jesus's new wheelchair or something. And I don't know, what do they need money for? They've got the fucking Vatican. What do they need money for? But they were all really mad at him. People were just like, how dare you dress like that? And it's like, the dude just looks like Stevie Ray Vaughan after the helicopter accident. Like, I don't see like what the big deal is. He just like he looks like he's gonna stand outside a cigar store and pretend to be made of wood.
He looks like an undercover cop at an Aerosmith concert.
It's also funny because this album is called In a Metal Mood, and so the story goes basically like his band leader, was like into this kind of music, and he got handed a mixtape of songs that was like, hey Pat, I think you'll like this. And he was like, I do like this music. I enjoy things. And so from those songs, this is what they chose. And I just think it's really interesting that it's like, it's called In a Metal Mood. The album came out in 1997. So like metal's pretty big at this point. And everything on this album is super duper tame.
Yeah.
Should have known about Slayer. Slayer was huge at this point,
You said 97, right?
97, yeah.
Yeah.
Slayer was big 10 years ago.
Totally.
That was the peak of Slayer. That is the other thing is like there wasn't this like new wave of like appreciating 80s metal. So he just chose songs that were really old at this point. Like,
yeah.
They were still banned by the church, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's funny because like every one of these bands, except for Jimi Hendrix because he's dead, was having a like at this point was also at the same time trying to be like, no, look, we're still good. We've got a new album out.
Yeah,
look,
totally.
our new album was made on the computer.
Yeah, what is 97 would be what? Load?
Van
Or
Halen
Reload
3.
or
And,
something like that.
Korn.
Yeah. Korn self-titled probably is about this time.
Help, I'm blind. Ooh, can't see a thing.
Ball tongue.
Oh god, him doing Twist.
Hit me, clown. Yim dark yiba rabaski bop bop.
Can we talk about how he sings like Don Pardo having an orgasm?
It's I'm Gonna Shoot.
Featuring Fat Ropers.
Musical guest, text me later. You're getting me swollen. Oh my
man.
God. Gross.
Gross. He's dead.
Okay.
Don Pardo is so dead.
Don Pardo is so good. I'm dead but horny.
Does this mean we're married now?
I'm a mummy, but I'm still coming.
So here's the thing. Loved this album front to back. I loved it.
Yes.
Yeah, I loved it. Not front to back.
Okay. Well, let's go through it. Like I feel like we don't always have to go through albums track by track, but I feel like this one
You have to.
has
Yeah.
earned
Yes.
it.
You really have to.
There
Because
are some-
it's whiplashy. It's like everything is either like as good or better than the song that it's covering, or it is like so missing the mark that it like I wonder if he's like senile at this point in his life.
Yeah, but even still, I think it's so insane.
Yeah.
Like why there's choices where it's like you could see that it like the riff was like a little like if they had to think about how to do the riff on a piano, he was like, just don't worry about it, fellas.
Yeah. Totally.
Just take everything for a walk, even my dog.
Yeah, totally. I know exactly what song you're thinking of.
Yeah. No, I like Panama. Panama is crazy. It's a crazy cover.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. We're close to.
Let's go to
Panama's
the
not
top.
far.
Let's start from the
Yeah,
top.
let's take it from the top. You've got another
Panama
thing
is
coming.
in the
Perfect.
continental United
Absolute
States.
Italian finger kisses. Absolutely love it.
Yeah. You Got Another Thing Coming was so perfectly done as just a fucking shitty cigarette lounge song. I love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
It
I
works
wanted
so
to walk
well.
out on stage to it. It'd be like my up to bat music if I was a Major League Baseball player.
It's not a wrestling song. It's a baseball song. For sure. I loved that also that since he's like a big old Jesus
Christ
kisser.
freak.
He's a big old he's a little Christ cake. I love that the album starts with him singing the only openly gay metal band who was also at this time getting blamed for satanic behavior and shootings. So
Yeah.
that's how he's starting his album, which is insane.
Yeah,
Love
you know who might do a better version of this though than him is another Vegas mainstay, Babs.
Oh
Babs
yeah.
would have done a hell of a version of this.
You Got Another Thing Coming?
Yeah.
I bet she'd do a
Another
great
thing?
job.
Oh no, it's got to be Ethel.
Yeah,
Ethel
yeah,
Merman
yeah.
has to do this entire album.
Dead for 40 years before that song came out, Ethel Merman. Boy, she would have killed it. You know what Ethel Merman would have loved? The Game Boy Advance. I think about that all the time. If only she had lived long enough to play
Pokemon
Pokemon
Crystal
Silver.
on the Game Boy Advance.
I'm sorry. Are we fantasy booking?
Yeah, we're fantasy booking. Somebody make a deep fake of Ethel
You can't
Merman.
actually put Ethel Merman. She's dead. She will never do it.
I thought because I thought the implication of a fantasy booking would be that it's something that could actually happen. Like Barbara Streisand could cover this
No,
song. Like
it could
no, 'cause if
never
we're going
happen.
like real fantasies, like you know who would have fucking whipped the fucking shit out of this song? Pliny the Elder.
Yeah.
My God.
My God, yeah. If the Boswell sisters got their hands on this, ooh boy.
You know who would
Dead
kill?
since the 20s.
You know who would whip the song's ass? Abraham from the Bible.
But definitely not Tom Ripper Owens.
No, absolutely not. Get him out of here. He did it bad every night. He gave us the movie Rockstar, which we got to do in the pod.
We
probably.
do have to do that,
Yeah,
yeah.
we have to do that movie. I haven't seen it in years. Next song.
Smoke on the Water.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Better than the original.
Better than the original for sure.
Who knew
This-
Tito Puente should have done it to begin with?
I was a little bummed out when the song started and it had a guitar, but then
Yeah.
it went away after the first repetition, and I was like, perfect.
I think
the
it's literally
guitar-
Richie Blackmore.
Yeah, it was actually Richie Blackmore. He was like, "Yeah, I'll do it."
Because no
What,
one else
for
can play
5
that riff.
seconds?
Dude, and fucking Dio is doing backing vocals on Holy Diver.
Yes.
Is that crazy?
Yeah. And Dweezil Zappa is on all over the album somehow.
I think he does the majority of the guitar.
Yeah, like the ripping
Yeah,
solos.
all the guitar that sucks.
I'm sure his dad would have been thrilled with him collaborating with like a Reagan type guy.
Yeah.
I love all of the guitar that sucks on this album.
Yeah.
So bad, but I love it.
It sucks in a very fun way.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
Smoke on the Water is a song that, we all know the riff before we even have heard the actual song.
Yeah.
And the only, the chorus to Smoke on the Water is the only part of the song that I like. I kind of like the opening, like in the original, I kind of like the opening riff. But then the drums come in, and they're the wrong type of drums. I feel like we've talked about this on the pod before.
Yeah.
They're the wrong type of drums. The cymbals are doing the wrong things. The keyboard sucks.
Yeah.
It's just
like
not
the
a
same thing
good
as Crazy Train. It's like 1980. They didn't know what metal drums were, so they were like, I don't know, do a disco thing. It'll be fun. No one knows what to do.
Throw
What's
in
a
one of
mosh
those
pit?
weird things.
Yeah, it was that song is fucking insane. It's perfect as a lounge song.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
definitely.
Best.
Some
Yeah.
Santana vibes in there too.
Yeah. Really, really great. It's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll.
Love it. Not
Great.
even it's what?
I loved it. You
I
loved
loved
Yeah,
it too.
I like it.
You know,
It's not my
funniest-
favorite, but I like it.
Yeah, I mean it's one chord. The
Yeah.
whole song is one.
It's a weird choice for an AC/DC song because another thing that I read is that he specifically was like, the reason why Slayer's not on here is because he's like, I won't do anything that has to do with the devil or anything that's super sinful. And I think that happened because Pat Boone in this song thought that a one-night stand is when you go to a hotel and that's the place next to your bed where they keep the Bible. It's the one-night stand. And again, he's like, and then he says getting stoned, and he's like, oh, that guy must have done something bad for the village to hit him with rocks.
Look out, it's rough and mean.
I was just, it struck me that, the lyrics are, it's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll. And here's a guy who literally took the short way to the top to rock and roll by stealing black people's music and taking the teeth out.
Yes, but it's a long way to 65 when you've lived a sad life.
Listen, it feels long for me because I've looked like a fruit leather since I was in my 20s.
That's why it's so funny that he's wearing the leather jumpsuit.
Yeah. It's a hat on a hat.
Yeah. It's a hat on a hat.
Yep.
I think the message is that it's like the top to him is heaven, and if you choose rock and roll, it's a longer way than a path that's not rock and roll.
Amen, brother.
You gotta not have sex for a long time to get into heaven, son. After rocking and rolling.
Pat Boone I was reading that Pat Boone and his wife got married when they were both 19 and she died last year. So that's 70 years of missionary sex.
Except in 1997 when he decided to wear leather once.
Right.
Oh, wouldn't it be funny if just out of nowhere he was like, yeah, actually, I'm into Bernie Sanders. I was just trying to please my wife. All right, Panama.
Yes.
Yeah,
favorite.
Pat Boone's new album is just about how gender is a spectrum.
I loved this Panama. Jordan, you didn't like it?
Here's the thing. This is one of those things. I think it's so funny because it's so off. But it isn't. It so clearly doesn't work. There's no reason for this song to be Panama. I would have loved this was a choice where I feel like he was they just gave up on doing the riff. You know?
Yeah.
But I
So
think
the chords aren't even in the ballpark. He's not. And I love parts of it. I think the bridge of this is so funny. Buckle your seatbelts. Rules.
See, but here's the thing for me. It's just it's so different that I think it's genius. To compose this is because look, I don't know a lot about Panama. I know they've got canals, and I know that David Lee Roth named his car after it. But this song is not about the car. This song is a commercial for me to go visit Panama and go skiing on vacation, which I don't think they have. I don't think they have mountains, and I don't think they have snow. It's just so different and out there.
Oh, they have
I don't know.
snow,
I think
all
it
right.
rules. Yeah. I've seen Narcos. They have snow, yeah.
I don't think it's about the place. I think it's about the type of hat.
Panama.
Yeah, he's definitely never been sexually attracted to a car, I don't think.
No.
Pat
Too
Boone.
fast for me. I've been sexually attracted to a pair of tennis shoes, though.
Burning down the avenue.
Burning down my walkway to the newspaper.
The outro of the song is my favorite part because if you took out his cheeseball voice, it could seriously be a Anderson .Paak song or a Steely Dan thing.
Yeah.
It's just it's super jazzy and the whole band is just really in the groove.
Yeah, they're doing a straight up Purdy shuffle on the drums. It's awesome.
It sounds like a song that could be playing in the credits for another Stakeout or some 80s movie.
Here's the reason why I think this works is because he doesn't try to do the guitar solo. He doesn't try to do the riff. He doesn't let's play the guitar solo but on piano. Let's play the riff but on piano. It just he just finds a way to find the soul of the song, misinterpret it, and then go through it anyway. I think it's cool.
It's I don't think that's cool. I think it's very funny. I think the point of doing loungy metal covers is I'm always excited to hear what weird instrument is gonna be doing the riff.
Yeah.
That's what I want to hear. If they're gonna do like if it's in Hot for Teacher on this album, I want to hear the flute doing the little.
Oh, I wish they did have Hot for Teacher on here.
Wouldn't that
Like
be
the-
amazing?
That would have been great. Yeah.
The intro is on a timpani.
Yeah. But you don't like that new cover, the Bird and the Bee cover of Hot for Teacher, right? The piano cover with Beck
It's
doing
fine.
the vocal thing. I love it. I think it's great.
I would have loved to hear Pat Boone do this one. I brought my pencil. May I please have some paper?
But he would have to change the words because he couldn't be hot for the teacher. I think he
Yeah.
would be impressed by the teacher.
It would be Hot for Jesus.
Got an A, got an A, got an A. I love my teacher.
I'm fucking Jesus.
I don't feel sinful.
How about No More Mr. Nice Guy?
Loved it.
Loved it. I love it slowed down, and I love there's like a weird he added like a fun little intro to it too, which I thought was really
Yeah,
cool.
I loved that intro. It's so funny.
Yeah.
This was clearly the first thing he wrote for this.
Because it has the line,
Before
I
he
go to
gave up.
church in it.
Yeah. You can tell he's having fun. He's just like, I know Reverend Smith real well, and it would be pretty funny if he punched me in the face.
There's the one thing I'd say about the whole album cover to cover is that every part of it sounds like they're having fun. There's no part of this
Totally.
album that ever sounds like it's labored or like anybody like didn't want to be there. Everyone is having a fucking blast.
Yeah.
I think the background vocalists clearly don't want to be there.
Well, they're way more
true.
talented than him.
I know,
No, but
yeah.
But while we're here, I want to talk about background vocalists because background vocalists are my absolute favorite thing in the world. Because I think that there is nothing funnier than like what happened in real life, which is that like some woman woke up at 6 a.m, drove 40 minutes down to Santa
Yes.
Monica, went into a recording studio, drank a cup of coffee, sat in front of a microphone, and went. Choo choo. Okay, can we do that again? The second chew should be longer than the first chew. Oh, okay. Choo choo. Not digging that. Do you think?
Yeah, not buying it.
Do you want to get lunch to
Yeah.
come back?
This is exactly what I was thinking about while listening to all, like, especially Panama. I just pictured like these poor women going like, Panama, like having to hit the harmonies.
Yeah.
And like figure out how to harmonize around his weird voice. And I was like, yeah, they're the only people who aren't having like a little bit of fun.
Yeah.
And I feel like, especially on those covers where the riff of the original song is nowhere in sight, I just picture everyone a little bit confused and not sure what's happening.
Yeah.
When the riff lands, they're like, we got it. In the pocket, super fun. But when you're making it up and it's just like, it might as well be just something else entirely.
Uh-huh.
It's just, it feels like the whole band is like, I don't know. Are we in the chorus? What's happening?
Yeah, it's kind of like the Metallica S&M thing where it's like these people have been studying music their whole lives and now they have to play like 3 chords.
I know.
Yeah. Well,
Now
there's
they
like
have to play drums badly.
Yeah.
on like some of the songs you're like, all right, cool, they're like doing something fun, but then like there's songs on S&M where you're like you guys went to school for so fucking long to play Fuel.
Yeah.
Like you slaved away. Your parents like sacrificed mornings to bring you to classes and shit so you could make your violin sound like a car at the beginning of the song.
It's so funny. My favorite part is in like S&M when they are doing like, which we have to do on the podcast.
Oh yeah, I love
haven't-
S&M.
I haven't heard it in forever, but I just love when they're doing like Master of Puppets and they're like, I guess I don't know what we're gonna do, and then they're just playing sound like the sounds of like knife stings.
Yeah. They're just doing score.
Yeah, they're like
doing fucking
let's
horror
just
score.
Yeah, just like like that's all they're doing. Yeah. Behind a Metallica riff.
All right, so what about what do we got? Love Hurts.
Love Hurts. Yeah.
Yeah,
This isn't even a I would have loved if he did Hair of the Dog. That would have been hilarious.
Yeah, that would have been amazing.
It would have been so amazing.
Yeah, he sounds like a sociopath in Love Hurts. He doesn't.
Yeah.
He sounds like he's never been hurt by love. He
I
doesn't
know.
understand.
Love
Yeah.
hurts.
Because he hasn't. He's been married to the same person since he was 19,
He's
and he's like what,
"Love
90 in
hurts,
this
doesn't
one?
it?"
Yeah.
Love hurts. Ow! Somebody give me a Band-Aid.
Oh, doesn't
Like
it
when
hurt to
Cupid
know that
hits you with
Christ
his
died for
arrow.
your sins.
You know his love doesn't hurt. Jesus.
Well, it was like a weird choice because I think they did this because he had already sung it before because it was an Everly Brothers song.
Right.
And then Nazareth did a cover of it.
Yeah.
Because I forgot about the Nazareth cover, and I'm like listening to this album as it comes up, and I'm just like, did they just decide to throw one old song in? Because he was like, oh no, we need one more song for the album
He
to fulfill
reclaimed
my
it.
contract.
I don't think he listened to the original. I just think that he knew the Nazareth cover from the radio, and he was like, "Good enough."
There's
No, it's like,
100%.
Daddy-o.
Yeah, because
Pat-
if
Pat
someone
Boone is not
told
listening to
him
the
that a
radio.
white person didn't write that song, he would be like, "Oh no."
Or actually, he'd be like, "Oh yeah, that's what I do for a
Oh,
living."
yeah. Yes, 100%.
All right, now we're into the pocket here. Enter Sandman.
Hell yeah.
Beautiful, love it. No changes.
No changes.
My favorite thing about it is that he literally like censored the prayer part. Like
Yeah.
he changed the lyrics to the prayer to make it less offensive.
You know what was a weird change that I caught? So there's a couple of weird little changes that they do, and one of them is in No More Mr. Nice Guy. The first thing is I didn't know that the Reverend's name was Reverend Smith, and the lyrics are, "The Reverend Smith, he recognized me." I always thought the words were, "The Reverend Smithy recognized me." I thought his name was Smithy. That's not important.
Yeah, but
hell?
a lot of these lyrics like come to light, like things that I never picked up
Yeah.
on. It's like out of context, and it's really funny to me because it explains he has no commitment to the actual content of the lyrics because like he's singing songs that were like sung by people who like OD regularly, and he's like never had a Pepsi.
Oh, Pepsi, no thank you. I want to get into heaven. Yeah, and no more. So in No More Mr. Nice Guy, it's Mom's been thrown out of the social circle in the original, and he changes it to Mom's been thrown out of the society circle, and I'm like, what's the society circle? I have to know. Let me in on your Christian secrets, Pat Boone.
Did you Google it?
Yeah, I googled it, and then the Illuminati showed up at my door, and they shot my cat.
Was there one in Enter Sandman?
Well,
Oh,
yeah,
he
but it's
changes
just the prayer.
He just says,
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I loved it, and
Hush,
it's like,
little baby, don't say a word, and please read your scripture.
It's in the book under your
Go
bed.
bed.
There's no reason to circumcise kids. Ooh, exit life.
What I was gonna say though is the way you were describing Panama as a negative is kind of like the same thing I would say about Enter Sandman, but as a positive.
Yeah.
Like I love that they play the riff once and then abandon it
gone.
for the rest of the song.
Yeah.
And it's literally just him, just like, "Hey, cats, go for a walk,"
I
and
know.
everybody just plays whatever they fucking
know.
want, as long as they get the hits when he does like "Off to Never Neverland." They are free to do whatever the fuck
Oh, I know.
they
Yeah, they were so
fit.
bored with the original riff.
Yeah.
And it's great. It works so well. I love
I
it.
loved it. At least they did the riff once.
Yeah.
I would say the song's just like so loose and fun. Like you could tell that like right before the drummer started, he was like, "Hey Pat, do you mind if I huff some glue?" Go
I
for
love-
it, son. God created glue.
Exactly. Yeah. Glue doesn't sound like drugs to me.
It comes from horses.
My wife's a horse.
I only drink horse beer.
His wife's a horse. Anything else on Enter Sandman?
It's
Better
perfect.
than the original.
It
Yeah,
was
it's better than
it
the
is
original.
Better than the original.
Better than the original.
Love it.
Holy Diver.
Great.
Fan
So
fucking
good.
tastic. So
Fantastic.
Yeah.
sick.
So sick.
Dio
Unbelievable.
fortifying the backing vocals is so necessary because he sounded out of breath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The weirdest thing about hearing them like the lyrics sung well and not like in like Like Dio, you can hear what he's saying, but it still is Dio. So you're like, yeah, okay, sure.
Yeah.
But like, what the fuck is a holy diver?
It's a priest committing suicide, right?
Is that what it is? It's a priest who goes snorkeling.
I guess so. Yeah, not yet. It's a priest who doesn't have his diving license.
It's Pat Boone in Panama.
I love that they do the riff with like the horn section, so it just sounds like football.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love
so
that
funny.
this album never gets like ska. You know what I mean? Like they keep it big band. It gets a little bossa nova, but they never get into like Real Big Fish territory.
Yeah.
you know?
Thank God.
I loved it. I loved how he sang this song. It was great.
Yeah.
Mighty
really low.
Boone tones.
What do we got here? Paradise City. Do not like.
Not
on
crazy
board.
about it.
No.
Not on board.
Wasn't into it. It's not.
You played
enough.
God, Pat Boone.
Yeah.
It's so
Take
far
me down
away.
to the Paradise City. He's like scatting it.
Yeah, it sounds like the Music Man.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
The like the
does.
salesman in the Music Man.
And again, weird because you can hear the lyrics, and I was like, "What the fuck?" There's a lyric in this song that says "Captain America's been torn apart." I do not notice that.
Yeah,
in 31 years.
I never noticed that.
Yeah,
either.
dude. Fucking Guns N' Roses were so weird at that point.
Yeah.
That like the original artwork for Appetite for Destruction was supposed to be like a robot that just raped somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy people.
I had a shirt of that.
Really?
Yeah, I don't wear it anymore for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
Too small.
Yeah.
It is a crop top now. And it also
It's unbelievable how many times they like just narrowly avoided being like not an acceptable band.
Canceled.
Their original name was AIDS. That's their original name as a band.
what a bunch of pains in the asses.
Am I wrong in assuming that like this whole album is where like Will Ferrell got the idea to do the like Robert Goulet shit on SNL? Where he
Maybe
had, like-
it's around the same time.
Yeah, maybe.
Probably.
My biggest question is what came first. Is this before Richard Cheese exists?
Yeah, I was
Richard
curious about
Cheese
that, too.
isn't, yeah, so the order would go this and then Black Velvet Flag and then Richard Cheese. Richard Cheese is like, I think 2000 is the first one. I read his Wikipedia before this and I completely did not retain any of it.
Oh, crazy.
But I did learn that he was like a radio personality.
that makes sense.
He was like a morning zoo character. He was like the oldest intern in America. That was his bit.
Oh, so that means that he heard this and was like, this is my career.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, Pat Boone's a one-off album. I'm gonna do a whole career out of this.
Yeah.
But,
And it's
but-
great. It's super funny.
But it seems like Pat Boone got this idea from there was a band called Loungeapalooza
Right.
that did like a Black Hole Sun but as lounge, and then this album inspired a Paul Anka album called Rock Swings, which we probably have to listen to because they cover Jump by Van Halen.
Jamp.
Champ
Yeah.
by Von Holland.
Jorp,
Yeah,
Jamp.
they cover Jamp Server. The one IT person who listens to our podcast is going to his pants. They cover they cover It's My Life by Bon Jovi. Smells Like Teen Spirit. Eyes Without a Face, which is pretty cool. I want to hear Paul Anka do Billy Idol.
That's kind of
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Is Paul Anka cool?
No, but I want to hear it.
I don't know anything about him as a person.
Oh,
so
you know what's actually complete curveball, and I'm sorry, but I found out there was this really weird album that came out around like the early 2000s. So it's this cover album called When Pigs Fly, Songs You Never Thought You'd Hear. And the first song on the album is a duet of Unforgettable by Annie DeFranco and Jackie Chan, who apparently is a famous singer in China. I had no idea.
I did know that. Yeah. He did the whole Chinese version of Mulan.
Really?
yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds racist,
Or, I mean, all the
but I
men's
believe you
parts,
that
at
really
least.
happened.
Yeah, he does what's that song? Like Be a Man or whatever.
I didn't know that. But also on this album is Girls on Film by Duran Duran, covered by Billy Preston. Herman's Hermits covering White Wedding by Billy Idol.
A lot of Billy Idol.
Yeah. And Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap by AC/DC, covered by Leslie Gore, famous for These Boots Are Made for Walking.
Huh.
Jackie Chan is definitely the odd one out on that.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Every other song that you're naming on these covers, like, I expect these. What I want is more like, I want a lounge Megadeth. There's never
Yeah.
been that on any of these.
I don't know.
I want
Did you
Holy
know?
Wars. I want Holy Wars lounge style.
Oh, I want Holy Wars like klezmer.
Yeah.
With like a real fucking Jewy Dave Mustaine.
You know who did a cover of Holy Wars? that you're gonna
Klezmer
hate?
is just
RX
ska.
Bandits.
What?
RX Bandits, the ska band, they did a cover of
Really?
Holy Wars. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Ugh.
Maybe not.
Yeah, but klezmer is just like ska for middle school art teachers.
Yes.
That's what I think it is, specifically that.
Yeah, people don't realize this, but actually the first wave of ska was Jews in the Lower East Side.
Jews
Yeah.
are the chosen ska.
Yeah. There needs to be more ska at weddings, at weird spiritual weddings.
Do you guys observe Skonica?
Yes.
All 8 days.
That's hack.
Skazeltov.
All right, what do we got? Wind Cries Mary?
What?
The Wind Cries Mary?
Yeah.
I didn't
Travesty. I hated it.
I know that riff.
Yeah.
I don't remember this song at all. Who is that?
That was Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's just
It's like a really boring Hendrix.
But
yeah,
like-
I mean,
there's
he
no
couldn't fit-
reason for this to be on this. Like, this, I can give like a pass to some songs. I'm like, all right, AC/DC, I guess, is metal because of the font. Jimi Hendrix is not metal.
Jimi Hendrix is not metal, but he's definitely like a godfather of metal guitar.
he goes there.
Yeah, I don't know. His poster is in Sam Goody's next to metal posters.
No, I think there's validity
Was-
to the idea that like metal guitar is pretty heavily influenced by in the early days. Like I think that there's like a lineage that leads from Jimi Hendrix to metal guitar.
Right, but
Yeah.
at the same, Stevie Ray Vaughan is not metal guitar though, which is the same thing.
Yeah, but it's 20 years later.
Yeah, Hendrix died before the 70s. I think that
Yeah.
that makes him clear of actually being classified as metal, but he definitely like
Because
handed
he
them a lot.
died?
What's
yeah, he
that?
died before metal was like he's like
Yeah, so did-
like proto punk but with metal, I guess. Is there proto metal? Do people talk about that?
Yeah, it has a really long acronym, and it's something about England. But
New wave of British heavy metal.
thank you.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel
Wimbley Chimbley metal dude.
Wimbley Chimbley. please, sir, more metal.
I see. I
More?
feel that way about Van Halen though, but I feel like once you get to like Jimi Hendrix, like I don't know.
But you also have to remember that this is Pat Boone. It's his album, and it basically should have been called like Pat Boone presents People I Think Who Are Going to Hell. Like he doesn't know.
Pat Boone presents songs I think are scary.
Yeah, this is his Halloween album.
Boone.
Pat Boone couldn't finish the album without ruining another great song by a Black American.
Dang.
All right, let's wrap this up. Crazy Train, unbelievably bad but awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so
So good.
off the rails.
Immortalized
It's so
is the
crazy.
theme song for the Osbournes.
It's bananas.
Is it really the theme song to the
Yeah,
Osbournes?
yeah. But here's the weird thing. Until this moment, I had never heard other than the 15 seconds of it that they use
Same.
for the Osbournes. And it's so crazy. Like the time changes, like it goes double time and then slows down. It's wild. I really like this a lot.
Choo choo.
Yeah,
The
the
choo-choo's
background
good.
singers that's an editing choice that somebody should have made.
Yeah.
It would have been fine without them. They should have just cut it.
Pat
No,
had the
I
final
love it.
say.
So funny. The second
Listen
they
here,
say
a train goes choo choo and apple pie tastes delicious. Get the fuck out of my studio.
who's got a glass of milk?
Pat, no, don't drink.
No milk, it's past 7 p.m.
I'm a bad boy now.
No more Mr. Nice Guy.
I'm not nice anymore. I'm going to have gas at 9.
Have we talked about the Osbournes on this podcast?
Never.
at all?
No, never. I
Never.
don't think I've
No.
ever seen an episode of it, actually.
I watched it all the time, but I
Did
can't
you?
tell you what happened.
I like Ozzy's my favorite thing, and like when the Osbournes came out, like I was like my peak Ozzy years, and I remember very specifically watching like 1 or 2 episodes and just like being like, they can't do that to Ozzy. He's so much cooler than this. They have to be editing it. They have to make him. They're making him look bad, and like I was so upset about it. And now as an adult, I'm like, no, that's what a lifetime of drug use does.
Totally.
But I never really watched it because like Ozzy was kind of my hero, and I was like, I can't watch him be hurt like that.
Yeah, I remember watching that show, and I remember, I think it was Little Nicky. I saw Ozzy
Yeah.
in it, and
Yeah.
then I was like, all right, I'm gonna try to get into Ozzy. And then I heard Crazy Train, and the first time I heard Crazy Train, I was like, this is one of the worst songs I've ever heard in my entire life. Because
You are so full of shit. No one under the age of 20 hears that song and thinks it sucks.
no, I grew to like it. It fucking sucked the first time I heard it. It starts with the riff, and then it turns into the like.
The
It
riff
turns
is
into
too
the most.
slow. It's too slow.
No, the
For
riff-
a song about a train, way too slow.
What starts off, and you're like, all right, this song's gonna whip ass, and then it gets really happy. I now love the song. Don't get me wrong, I love it now, but when you first hear it, it's fucking weird. It's a weird song. It's weird, the mythos of Ozzy, and then you hear Crazy Train, and you're like, I can't argue that this is not crazy.
No, you're right, because it's like the mythos of Ozzy is like Prince of Darkness, scariest man in showbiz, eats the head of a bat, and then it's like
It sounds
he has
like
a song
trumpets.
about a train.
Yeah,
Ticka, ticka,
you guys,
ticka,
you guys
ticka.
you're compartmentalizing it right now with who you are now. Like Jeremy, you have to go back in time to when you were fascinated by trains but didn't know a lot about them. And Jordan, you have to go back to before you knew everything about guitar. It's a song that opens up with someone going I, and then hitting some kind of thing that makes that snake rattle noise. It's just a weird song. When
Yeah,
you're a kid, you know that you don't know that. You don't know that.
I was literally a child when I heard the song, and I thought it sucked. I thought it was such a bad song, and now I appreciate it for being just completely crazy, because I know that it was just a song written by an insane person, and that's why it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the guitar work is fucking great. It sounds so weird. The structure of the song is so bizarre, and it's Ozzy solo. He just wants to write songs about flying. He's just like, the world is so fucking maddening. I want to fly.
Ozzy didn't write a single fucking song ever in his life. There's no way Ozzy wrote Crazy Train. If he did, he was like, I want to do a song called Silly Train. And someone else was like, wrote down Silly Train on a Post-it note, and then 6 months later handed him the lyrics. Like, Ozzy never wrote a song in his life.
He said Daisy Chain and said it all weird, and someone's like, okay, Crazy Train, we'll do that.
It's weird that he still wrote songs that were about how he wanted to fly after Randy Rhoads died.
Oh, man.
Those songs were before Randy died. They were talking about Diary of a Madman. Randy's still on the album.
Right, but he talks about it's on there's lyrics about flying on like bark at the moon and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think he still had to take airplanes, but he's
I
not
know.
like, it's not the same thing as like
Look,
flying
I know
high
I
again.
It was a bit. I don't know what to tell you, man.
I got too nerdy. I'm sorry.
You're getting.
It's not like he wrote a song called like flying like my dead friend.
That would have been better, I think. I don't know.
All right, last song, Stairway to Heaven.
I fell asleep.
Yeah.
Don't
Snoozer.
care for it. Not
I
my
don't-
fave.
It's again like just one of those things. I'm like, I mean, I guess Led Zeppelin, but I would have loved to hear like a loungy, like Black Dog riff. That would have been
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah, there's a ton of Zeppelin songs that could have done better, but he chose the
Oh,
one with Heaven in it.
Beep beep beep.
Dazed and Confused.
Yeah, he did.
Dazed and Confused would have been fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, the heaven part is why he wanted to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just a little prayer at the end. Speaking of which, he tacked on a little prayer at the end of Holy Diver too, didn't he?
Did he?
Yeah, it's like it like plays out and he says something about like walking through the valley or some shit. I don't remember.
Oh yeah.
Please forgive my friend Dio.
Yeah, he named himself after God. He didn't mean it.
Thanks for the backup, Dio. You're gonna burn.
Yeah.
Have fun in hell, good buddy.
You
Everyone
Italian
on this
weirdo.
album is gonna get the eternal sunburn. Oh boy. All right. So yeah, overall, how would you compare this to
Graveyard Classics.
Graveyard Classics, because it's the same track list.
It's better.
Yes.
It's way better.
Really?
I like it so much better. Yeah.
Graveyard
Drew.
Classics?
Graveyard Classics or this?
It's
Which
so
is better?
much better.
Yeah.
It's so much better. Because here's the thing. Like, I don't know. There's something about this which is like, there's a little bit of like technical skill and like, man, let's do this. It'll be fun. The kids will have fun. And Graveyard's Classic is just kind of just like, yeah, why not? You know?
Yeah.
It's just like,
Because
Yeah.
the thing with the thing with Graveyard Classics, and I think I said this in the episode when we first listened to it, is that those songs are funny until you get to the hook. And then once you're at the hook, there is absolutely no reason to keep listening to the song. You've gotten to the funniest part. You're done. It's not going to get funnier. Whereas
Right.
this, I feel like you can actually listen to the whole song. Like, I think...
And you keep finding little gems of what's funny about
exactly,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, when you do Smoke on the Water is the best A to B comparison, right? Because it's on both of them. Like, once you get to him saying, Smoke on the Water, it's done.
Yeah.
You can turn off the song.
You're right. But I don't know. I still, when we were listening to that, I kept laughing every time it
Yeah.
got to the chorus of
That's
each song
true.
because I'm like, I can't believe they just kept going.
Okay, here's
They
what
did
I'll
the
say.
whole song.
Strength of laugh, harder with Graveyard Classics. Laughs per minute, higher with No More Mr. Nice Guy.
You're right.
no, I don't think so. Because I didn't laugh. I stopped laughing after Panama. Because it was like, during Panama, I was just like, this is ridiculous. But everything else is just kind of like, makes sense. Like, there's nothing that's like so out there about this. Whereas like, in terms of comedy, like, nothing
Graveyard
commits
Classics.
to the bit harder than Graveyard Classics.
Graveyard Classics is so funny because we still aren't sure how much of a joke it is because there's
5 of them.
like
He made
5
so
of them.
many.
There's 5 of them, but then the song choice, like, it's mostly the same track list, but then they're covering like the Dead Kennedys and shit, like stuff they clearly care about
Yeah.
as like stupid aggressive music boys in the early 90s. But like, it's so funny to hear them like do like an earnest punk song, but then also I'm TNT. I'm dynamite.
Yeah, I feel like this album made me question like his familiarity with like the vocal arrangements was actually pretty on point, like the ad libs and like the in like just all the different little things about it, like the quirks of the different songs. And it made me wonder if like that's like just his record collection, like he has all like these metal records at home. He just like knows them that well.
I mean,
the story is that the his band leader like gave him a mixtape, you know?
No,
It's
right,
kind
you
of-
were saying that. Yeah.
But to me that's really funny because I imagine that this is like track for track the mixtape, maybe like missing like 3 or 4 songs, and it's just like maybe I've got a little bit of a crush on you. I'll cherish this mixtape, you know?
Totally.
Like he's just trying to impress the band leader. What are you doing after this recording session?
Did you get the letter I wrote you over the summer break? No, it's cool. Don't worry about it.
it was just some stupid thing I wrote. Don't worry about it. I might have just thrown it away. I don't remember.
I wrote it in a light green marker. But no, I remember it's funny that you mentioned like him like listening to the mixtape, because I think my favorite. I was reading, some like magazine that where like they were interviewing Danny Filth from Cradle of Filth about like some new Cradle of Filth album that I don't think I still haven't listened to it, but they do like a cover of like a pop song apparently on it, and I don't remember what it was, but Danny was talking about it. He's like, yeah, we have to learn all the parts of the song, and it's like we're doing a joke. It's kind of like a tongue-in-cheek cover, but I still have to listen to that song. And he remembers that one day he was just in his car blasting this like tiny like Swedish pop song or whatever, and just like a woman looked over at him and he looks like a spooky tree, so and he's just blasting that, and he had to keep it on repeat to learn all the lyrics. And so I'm like, yeah, that's what everybody has to do when they're doing a cover, is to listen to the song a lot. And it's funny to think about all these people listening to these different songs.
Yeah,
as Pat Boone in the back of a church. It'd be great.
As a part of that interview that I read with him, like where he was like trying to apologize and explain himself to the Christian community, he was like actually saying that that in heavy metal there's actually some good songs when you take away the distortion and all the anger and all the noise. Like he's like, there's actually some pretty good songs in there. And then the author was totally biased and like interjected with like, good songs in heavy metal, like, and then quoted scripture or something. It was like some old website from 1997, like
I love
linked to the Wikipedia.
I love that he's only been interviewed by the Bible.
Yeah, it's where all his money's coming from these days.
I feel like this has to be his best-selling album. Like,
it was his first charting album in like 35 years, I think.
Yeah.
I didn't even know who this dude was until someone played. Like, I found out about Pat Boone in early high school in an art class, and a kid just played the Enter Sandman cover, and I laughed so hard. And I had no idea who Pat Boone was. I was like, I guess he's just some Vegas guy.
I genuinely did not know who he was.
22 years old.
Huh?
So like, this album's 22 years old. Like, this album is so fucking old. So like, go back 22 years. Like, this is like the thing that like my AV club like teacher probably bought for all his friends for Christmas, you know? Like,
yeah.
It's just like, this is definitely a weird product of its time.
Yeah.
I love it. I think it's so funny. I think it's is it funnier than, yeah, I agree with Drew. I think the laughs eventually die off, except for just like the choo choo.
Yeah. For sure, yeah.
Just because, yeah, with like a Richard Cheese, you do laugh at every song because you're like, he picks songs where the lyrics are crazy.
Right. And he does jokes on purpose, though. Like, I mean, the funniest thing is when he's doing System of a Down and he's like, why'd you leave the keys up on the table? And then the whole band goes, you wanted to. And they do that like 3 times. And he's just like, why did you leave the keys up on the table?
Yeah, it's so, that shit's so funny. I guess, let's go. What's the best Richard Cheese song?
Ooh.
I mean, I don't know his material all that well. I love Down with the Sickness, though. I mean, I know it from, 28 Days Later, that movie?
The Dawn of the Dead remake.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Dawn of the Dead remake, yeah.
Okay.
I liked it in that, and I like that song. It's pretty good. I like him being like, ooh, ah, ah, ah.
Yeah, the ooh, ah, ah, ah is super funny. I think People Equal Shit is the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life. You can't be just people equal shit. Come on, is so funny.
Yeah, it's probably People Equal Shit or Chop Suey. It's just, that's the funniest thing in the world to me when he yells at his band.
Yeah. Him yelling at the band is super funny. Oh God, he does. Oh no, I think he does Mystical, and I think he N-bombs it.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure.
Man. It's early 2000s.
Dude, Ben Folds does a cover of Bitches Ain't Shit, and he N-bombs in it 1,000,000 times.
Oh my God.
Will Ferrell N-bombed on his like Goulet shit too.
Oh my God, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, and Jimmy Kimmel used to do blackface on the Man Show.
I recall.
Yeah.
Remember back when we had a show just for us?
Do you remember? Wait, not to go on like a complete tangent, but do you
No, go for
remember
it.
when they did like a reboot of the Man Show and they
Yeah.
got it was Doug Stanhope and fucking Joe Rogan?
Yeah. Wild.
That was where I
Insane.
first heard of both of them.
Yeah, I didn't know who they were until then.
Yeah, unfortunately now I know who they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you know that Tool has a new album?
Oh boy.
Delete, 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 delete.
We can never talk about Tool again.
Yeah, Corey. What was
Yes.
do you have a favorite Richard Cheese cover?
You know, I feel like the only one that I can remember currently is the System of a Down one.
Yeah.
That one left the biggest impression on me. I really,
Totally.
I don't think I've listened to Richard Cheese in over 15 years.
Yeah, I hadn't, except for our friend Sam Nolman.
I was just gonna say.
Yeah, he needed to. In college, I remember him just like him trying to dip his toe into metal, and he's such a just human vaudeville person that he wanted to start singing. He would sing like "Mother" by Danzig in a lounge style, and then I showed him my two favorite things ever, like, were me showing him Richard Cheese for the first time and him freaking out about people equal shit, and the first time I showed him King Diamond and played him Welcome Home, which is just a high-pitched scream of Grandma! He fell apart.
The great thing about Sam is that Sam is one of those people that, like, if you show him something that makes him laugh, he will never ever forget it. And Sam and I have driven across country like probably 4 or 5 times, and every time without fail around like, you know, hour like 7 or 8, here comes Richard Cheese, here comes Weird Al, here comes everything that made him laugh 10 years ago.
Yep.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. The Hanukkah song.
Yeah. So to answer your question, I listened to Richard Cheese 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Although, while we're talking about these, Richard Cheese and whatever, like I've brought them up on the show before, but Black Velvet Flag are like the '80s hardcore version of this sort of thing, and they do a really fucking funny version of Institutionalized.
Oh yeah,
where
I really
it's
wanna
like
hear that.
like there's like sort of
Yes.
like the light backing sort of behind him, and he has like the greatest like 50s dad voice, just like, all I wanted was a Pepsi, just one Pepsi, and she wouldn't give it to me.
It's just a radio play.
It's so good.
Oh man.
That's great. Favorite covers on this album.
Holy Diver, for sure.
Yeah. Drew?
Oh,
Sorry.
Oh, well, me too. Panama, man.
Panama, yeah.
Panama.
Fucking
Wi-Fi high
maniacs.
five.
Yeah.
I feel like that's crazy.
It's
this-
fun. It's fun. It's
Just like-
weird.
yeah,
it's, just fucking
It's
weird.
so weird.
That Steely Dan play out in the end, just like that's what got me. I was like not fully sold on it, and then the band just goes all in.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, again, it's just like he was just like, the song's called Panama. Maybe it should sound like it's from Panama. I've never been, but I imagine this is what it sounds like there.
Yeah. This song should sound like freshly mowed Boca Raton grass.
Yeah, this song should sound like a trip to Sandals.
This song sounds like a hot tub with actual sand in it. All right, I'm gonna go either Holy Diver or You Got Another Thing Coming, because I do want to listen to You Got Another Thing.
Yeah,
Opening with
Yeah.
You Got
Incredible.
Nothing Coming. Perfect.
Perfect. It's so, it's a song about not expecting something, and I did not expect it.
my favorite part of that song is still the ad libs in the end. You hear me? You hear me? It's coming right now.
That's actually the thing about that is that's in the original Judas Priest song.
Yeah.
But he goes like, "It's coming right now." He like does
Yeah,
a high pitched
totally.
voice, but now it's just Pat Boone going like, "Yeah."
He's like, think I'll let it go? You're mad.
It's so funny. I love that was I want more songs where there's just like him having to sort of speak all of the weird noises that are made on songs.
Yeah.
Totally.
Like I would have loved if he did the Guns N' Roses like knocking on heaven's door. If he just had to do the ooh woo 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 woo.
Oh, I thought you were gonna do that.
Woo woo woo.
Hey, 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 hey.
Hey, 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 hey. It'd be great. All right, should we do some plugs?
Yeah.
Let's do plugs. Corey, where can
All
everybody
right.
find your business?
I'm on Instagram at Insane Clam Pasta, where I draw music food puns, exclusively music meeting food in ways that make me laugh. And you can find me there. I got t-shirts for sale on a website called Merchlink, and the link is in my Instagram bio. You can also get prints from me, and I do commissions, all that fun stuff. And real quick plug, my band Realms of Vision is getting back together when I move back to San Francisco, so look out for that. We're in the studio right now.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Do you have a Twitter, Corey?
I don't have a Twitter. I'm really glad that I didn't fall down that rabbit hole yet. I spent enough time on Instagram.
Yeah, well, you made the right choice. Drew, plugs?
Yeah, follow me on all the shit. I kind of accidentally lost my Instagram handle, but I'm fixing it soon. At diet_Hellboy. Also,
Wait, what happened?
You can't. I tried to swap Instagram names with my photography thing because I was like, oh, I don't know. It didn't work. In 2 weeks, it'll be fixed. So until then, just follow me on the 2 Minutes to Late Night Instagram. 2 Minutes to Late Night. Also, I got some prints coming of the photos I took in Vegas and some other print stuff. You should buy that. I don't have a job. Jorb.
Oh, I usually go last, but all right. Yeah, please follow me on Instagram at Dr. Mayor. Follow my dog at Great Hambino. Please follow 2 Minutes to Late Night at 2 Minutes to Late Night. Donate to the Patreon at Honorable Swords. Also, we have merch for sale at terriercult.com. We got tons. We have too many shirts for this show. We have way too many designs. We also now have beach towels. We have fanny packs. I know it's all summer gear and summer's almost over, but fucking buy it anyway. You need to dry your stupid. Everybody runs out of towels. Get some towels.
Because they're gonna be gone soon, and you're gonna wish next summer that you had bought them this summer. That's why you gotta buy them right now.
Absolutely.
Or
Plan ahead
you go on vacation like a healthy, well-functioning human being.
to Panama.
Yeah, and same thing though.
Panama.
Same thing. You're gonna have a vacation in a couple of months when it's cold and you want to get the fuck out of here and go somewhere warm. But what's gonna happen? You're gonna go to the site and they're not gonna be there anymore. You gotta buy them now. Buy them now.
You got to buy them now so you can put the Pat Boone CD because this album is only available on CD.
For sure.
Put it in the fanny pack. The 2 Minutes to Late Night fanny pack. Jeremy, close us out with plugs.
Yeah. Find me on Twitter at Jeremy Thunder. Check out Ballin' Out Super. I just did an episode that's more serious, and I don't know. I feel vulnerable, and
Okay.
and nobody nobody
What
laughs.
was more serious about it?
I did a more serious conversation that was taking an in-depth look at the series Serial Experiments Lane and how it relates to our culture of like isolation and onlineness and how that then relates to radicalization of people to right-wing politics. Anyway, the point is it's a more serious thing and nobody laughs and that makes me feel vulnerable. Anyways, check that out, guys.
Check that out.
Go be a Boone.
Yeah, go. Also, please be on the lookout for the Psycho Vegas episode that will be coming out shortly. We have Psycho Vegas content coming to your fucking eyeballs, and it's gonna be fucking weird. Some of it is pretty bizarre. So that's it. Go eat some bat poon. Oof.
Panama.
Sick. Drew, give us a clappy.
Yeah, Corey, take your headphones and put them in front of your microphone.
No, the mic. Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, my mic is over here.
Ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did it.
Good job.
I think.
Sync.
Good job, probably.
Tight.
Probably.
We'll see.
We'll see what happens.
Some pro shit, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Put your headphones in front of your mic. Pro shit.
Put your hands.
Is this
You're
industry jargon?
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Welcome to the game, son.
Welcome to
Man.
the big show.
Yeah.
Put me in, coach.
All right.